Welcome to another edition of SlingPaint. I'm Berto, and it's breakdown time. And what we're going to be going over is the TIE Fighter expansion pack for the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game by Fantasy Flights. Now, TIE Fighters, you get 2 with the core set. Why do you need more? Ha ha ha. That's the best part about this game. So before we get into that, look at this thing. I mean, this thing is phenomenal. I mean, just like the TIE Fighters that you get in the core set, right? I mean, you got those big, huge solar panels, and it's just a phenomenal looking ship. Now, the cool part about it with this expansion pack is not only do you get you have the original pilots that you get from the core set, you get a whole bunch more unique pilots in this one. You actually get 6 pilot cards, and you can see that 6 pilot cards. You get only 2 upgrades within this, but that's okay. But there's a good one in here. You also get 3 different bases, both, each side has a different pilot. You get an evade token, a focus tone, stress, and critical, just like, just the original TIE Fighter setup. You get a bunch of the identity tokens, and then you get the TIE Fighter itself, plus you get the dial, the maneuver dial, and look at the maneuvers you get with the TIE Fighter. I mean, this thing is crazy. I mean, if you look at it, kind of like the X-Wing, where pretty much everything is white and green, right? But this thing is a lot more maneuverable and faster. And what I mean by faster is look at that 5 white going forward. That is huge. Now, you don't get any maneuvers, the slight right or slight left and straight during the 1 turn, but that's okay. But look what else you get. Also, you get the 3K turn and the 4K turn. They're both red maneuvers, but you get that within the set. That's huge. Very maneuverable compared to the X-Wing counterpart when you're playing against them. So let's get right into the pilot cards. So look at the pilot cards here. Okay, when you first get the TIE Fighter in the core set, you get Molar Mythal, you get Night Beast, you get Dark Curse, all right? Those are great guys, but look what else you get within the TIE Fighter expansion pack. You get Howlrunner, which we'll get to him in a second because he's great for swarms. You get Backstabber, you get Gundark, right? You also get a new introduction of a non-unique pilot, which is the Black Squadron pilot. Right, and this was in the core set. The Obsidian and also Academy pilots were actually original part of the core set, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But just like the TIE Fighters, you get 2 attack dice, 3 agility, so that's great for defense. You get 3 defensive dice. You get 3 hull, but you get no shields. What makes up the TIE Fighters, where they actually add a lot of value, is the numbers, okay? Sheer numbers. Because of their point cost value, like you have 18, 16, 15, and if you want to just outfit regular Academy pilots, right, that's 12 points, you can get a whole entire swarm of them, all right? And what I mean by swarm is you can do with, let's say, a 100-point match, 7 or 8 different TIE Fighters versus, what your opponent might have 2 or 3 ships. Now you're like, okay, is that good, is that bad? But think about it. I mean, it's hard when you're throwing 8 ships at a person to figure out what they're going to be shooting at. The biggest thing, we'll get into strategy and tips in later videos as far as how do you maneuver with swarms. But let's get to, Howlrunner right here. Howlrunner is probably one of the biggest ships, biggest pilots that you're going to want in a swarm, all right? He's got a skill value of 8, all right? So he's going to move last and attack first, all right? But this is the cool part why a lot of people like him in swarms. When another friendly ship at range 1 is attacking with its primary weapon, it may re-roll 1 attack dice. That's huge, right? I mean, for Howlrunner, if you're doing swarms, anybody in range 1 that's your buddy, guess what? They're re-rolling 1 attack dice. That's huge from an attack perspective. Now, you do get, because you don't get target locks, that re-roll actually helps you out. You get a focus, you get a barrel roll, and you get an evade token. That's definitely huge as far as actions. Now, out of all these cards, the only one that gets an elite upgrade is Howlrunner himself. Okay? Backstabber, I love the name, by the way. Backstabber, when attacking from outside your defending's firing arc, roll 1 additional attack dice. That's also huge, too. All right? If you can maneuver using your barrel roll outside of your opponent's firing arc, guess what? You can actually send another dice. It's like sending another knife in somebody's back. All right. Gundark. When attacking at range 1, you may change one of your hit results to a critical result. That's also huge, too. Black Squadron pilot, and just like Obsidian and Academy, don't really have any extra abilities, but you can see where the difference is point values is because of the skill value that you get. So you can be able to either move first, or move last, or attack first or attack last, depending on where you are with your enemy. Now, upgrade cards. What do you get? So there's only 2 elite talent, only 2 upgrade cards that come with this, with one TIE Fighter expansion. You get Determination, which we've seen before. So Determination, when you're dealt a face-up damage card with the pilot trait, discard it immediately without resolving its effect. That means you just got rid of a critical hit. So if you get a critical hit with the pilot trait on it, which is about a third-ish, give and take, of all the damage cards, right? So 1 out of 3, if you get a pilot trait, you actually don't have to resolve it. You get to discard it. It's gone. That's huge. Swarm Tactics is what I like, okay? This is if you outfit this with Howlrunner with Swarm Tactics because he has the elite upgrade. Definitely will help you out because at the start of the combat phase, choose 1 friendly ship at range 1. Until the end of this phase, treat that chosen ship as if it's a pilot skill where you're equal to your pilot skill. So if you're running a swarm, you can choose one of your ships at range 1 that has the same skill value as Howlrunner. So let's say if you're running Howlrunner as 8, right? What are your other friendly ships can run as 8 too during the turn? So you just gotta declare that. That's huge from a attacking perspective, combat phase. All right, so that pretty much sums up the TIE expansion pack. Besides all the pilot cards that you get, a lot of people like, well, why would you want to buy this if you already have 2? The cool part is these are very inexpensive point-wise, all right? I mean, if you look at the back, if you're going back to the pilots, I said you can get a bunch of these and fill your roster right up. So you can fill your list right up with let's say if you're missing 30 points, or if you're missing, let's say, 36 points, guess what? You can fill it up with 3 Academy pilots right off the bat. I mean, that's huge. That's 3 extra ships that somebody's got to, fight after. Now, they don't have, like, shields, and they only have 3 hull, but, the sheer numbers, effect. That's the whole concept of these TIE fighters. And when you're running Howlrunner, it definitely helps you out. Again, this is another edition of SlingPaint. Again, like our video, subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and if you have any comments or questions, definitely below, fill them out, and we'll get back to you guys. I really appreciate your time, and let us know if you have any questions. Bye.